Hi, good morning, everyone, and welcome to First Church Unitarian in Littleton, Massachusetts. My name is Sara, and I'm one of the members of our standing committee, here to welcome you all this morning, at least all of you who remembered to turn your clocks ahead and are actually here. And for those of you who know me, it's a miracle I am. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who participated and attended last night's amazing stewardship event. We had a wonderful time and great food. And this is a reminder to return your pledge cards by April 1st so that the standing committee can begin planning next year's budget. I'd also like to remind all of you who might be interested in serving your church in a different way, that the nominating committee, chaired by Lori Locascio, is currently accepting nominations for a number of positions. You can find those listed in Community Matters, and also check out Community Matters for more great opportunities to participate in our community. And with that, welcome to church.
Good morning. This is Molly Lozeua, music director. I wanted to announce the Prelude. Oh, assistant music director is also here, making her presence known in the other room. The Prelude today is called Morning. It's by Jennifer Haines. I've played a couple pieces by her. She is a fabulous composer and pianist who wrote a lot in the early 2000s, and then has disappeared, unfortunately. So here is a beautiful piece of hers called Morning.
Here we are, energy, mass, life shaping life, mind shaping mind, God shaping God. Consider, we are born not with purpose, but with potential. To survive, let the past teach you, past customs, struggles, leaders, and thinkers. Let these help you. Let them inspire you, warn you, give you strength. But beware, God is change, past is past. What was cannot come again. To survive, know the past. Let it touch you. Then let the past go. Purpose unifies us. It focuses our dreams, guides our plans, strengthens our efforts. Purpose defines us, shapes us, and offers us greatness. We can, each of us, do the impossible as long as we can convince ourselves that it has been done before. The words of Octavia Butler. Let us worship. All right, we have a chalice lighting. And after our chalice lighting and words of the covenant, you will see a special short video that was made for our VidHug stewardship event yesterday, a wonderful video made by DRE Thea Shapiro and her husband, David Grober.
Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another.
Thank you. I get such a kick out of that. Well done. Good morning. I welcome you and join with Sara and Molly in welcoming you to First Church Unitarian. I'm in Littleton, Massachusetts. You're somewhere else, maybe. Some of you are also in Littleton, Massachusetts. My name is Lara Hoke, and I'm so happy and lucky to be the minister serving this incredible congregation. If you are joining us for the first time this morning virtually, welcome. I'm so glad you found us, whether you're here in the Zoom room somewhere, or if you are watching the YouTube live stream, welcome. If you'd like to learn more about the congregation, I invite you to visit the website, if you haven't already, fculittle.org, and you can learn a lot there. You could even fill out the virtual pew card, and somebody from the congregation will contact you if you wish. So welcome on this day, all of you. This is the second Sunday in the Christian season of Lent, leading up to Easter. And it is the second day of our stewardship season. We had, as Sara noted, that wonderful stewardship kickoff last night. I'm still smiling from it. And I hope for those of you who were able to be there that you enjoyed yourselves too. So our lay pastoral minister today is Phyllis Terry. If you'd like some pastoral care, you can seek her out, or perhaps one of the other lay pastoral ministers, or me if you wish. So welcome on this day. It is so good to be together virtually. Now, normally at this point in the service, we'd sing an opening hymn together. And maybe someday soon we will be doing that again. But our tradition online has been to make a joyful noise. So I'm going to let our music director, Molly, lead us.
All right, this is the time for everybody to unmute. And you can get something that makes noise, or you can use your hands or your mouth for whatever you want to use. Or an animal. I see some animals. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, 3, 2, 1, done. Thank you.
We always have way too much fun with that. Thank you for leading us, Molly, and thank you all for playing along in our joyful noise. Okay, so it is now time for me to turn it over to our Director of Religious Education, Thea Shapiro, for our Time for All Ages.
Morning. So this morning's story, I'm going to move this so we can see. This morning's story is The Circles All Around Us. It's written by Brad Montague, and it looks like it's illustrated by Brad and Kristi Montague. Whoops, sorry, went too fast. We begin by drawing a circle on the ground along each shoe. A safe little place for just one person. Nobody in this circle but you. You could keep that circle closed to everyone but yourself. But that would be like a library with just one book on the shelf. So let's draw a bigger circle for you and your family to share. Now you see what all can happen in a circle full of care. It becomes a happier circle as more loved ones come to stay. And wouldn't it be even better if all your friends could come and play? So you stretch and draw your circle even bigger than it's been, and let a few more people know they're welcome to come in. In the circles all around us, everywhere that we all go, there's a difference we can make and a love we can all show. Yet there are still so many outside the circle who are different in all they do. Though it feels slightly uncomfortable, we draw a bigger circle for them too. It doesn't mean the circle is easy. It can get harder the more we share. But wonderful things can happen when love is known and felt everywhere. As time passes, our eyes open, we see each other we really care for. And that's when we can ask ourselves, well, what's this circle really there for? So let us create bigger circles all around us for the rest of our days. Let our caring ripple out in a million little ways. In the circle all around us, everywhere that we all go, there's a difference we can make and a love we can all show. And our circles grow and grow, and we watch them wonder-eyed. Remember, the first circle started with just the love you hold inside. Thank you, and may your circles keep growing.
Thank you, Thea. That's a great story. All right, I have a little treat for you now. You saw one video earlier that was part of our vid hug for our stewardship event, and I'm just going to show one more. Not every vid hug video was safe for church, NSFC, so don't worry. This one is safe for church. And so you're going to see, though, a special director's cut, an slightly extended version of the winner of our Best Special Effects video, and that is a video by Mike and Monica. Enjoy.
Hey, Mike, what are you looking for?
Lara said we're supposed to find a silver lining.
Laura?
No, Lara.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I know.
Hey, Mike, where'd you go?
Oh, sorry. Here, take my hand. Here we are in the basement of the church. See the silver lining around the bulkhead. Maybe that's what she's talking about.
I don't think that's what she's talking about, Mike.
Okay, well, how about this? Here we are in the bell tower. The closer you are to the sun, the brighter the silver lining, right?
I see what you mean, but I still don't think that's what she has in mind.
Okay, how about this? Here we are in the minister's study, and it's full of all sorts of Christmas decorations, lots of tinsel, lots of silver lining, like this.
Well, that's very pretty, nice idea, but that's actually gold, and I still don't think it's what she had in mind.
Oh, right. Okay, one more. Here we are in the sanctuary. Look at the light streaming in through the stained glass window. Surely that's a silver lining.
That is very beautiful, but I think what I have in mind for a silver lining looks more like this. So when you can see in our Zoom services all the friends in our community, in our church community, their eyes, their smiles. It's wonderful sitting in the church together, but when I do, all I can see is the backs of their heads, their bald spots and such like. It's a nice thing to be able to see people and feel so close to them during this time of pandemic. That is my silver lining.
I think that's my silver lining too.
Look for the silver lining whenever a cloud appears in the blue.
Yes. Thank you, Mike and Monica. Even better as a director's cut. So fun to see some of the places in the church building that we don't often see. So thanks for doing that. That was really fun. All right. So this is, as we said, Stewardship Sunday. And we're thinking all about generosity today and ways that we can be generous with this community that's so important to us. I know that you'll give generously of your time and talents, and as you are able, you give generously of your treasure too. And so this morning we will take our offering for the good works of this congregation, our ministries both between these walls and beyond them. And if you wish, you can mail in any checks to this address. It's also where you would mail in your pledge cards in case you've already filled that out. And you could also go to the website, you see that there as well, and look for the yellow donate button in the upper right if you wish to donate online. It will take you through that process. So this morning's offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation.
And you'll be hearing a beautiful piece called Aurora Borealis from a collection of Alaskan sketches by composer Linda Lybeck-Robinson.
Thank you, Molly. That was beautiful. Most weeks, this congregation shares a special time to feel once again our connections to one another and to that which we consider holy. And it's in this spirit that we share in the candles of caring. If you have a very important joy or concern that you'd like to share now with this virtually gathered beloved community, I invite you to do so. And so that more people can be heard, I ask that you keep your sharing relatively brief to let us know how we can direct our thoughts, prayers, or healing wishes. If you'd like to speak, please raise the hand function, I should say, in either your reactions or your participant area of Zoom, and Mike will call on you. Are there any joys or concerns to share today?
Good evening, Alessandra. Please unmute.
Hi, everybody. Well,
Not seeing any other hands or hearing anyone else, I'm going to light one last candle and let this represent all the joys and concerns that are with us this morning, but that remain unspoken. Please join with me in the spirit of meditation or prayer. Once again, we have come together in love and trust, sharing those cares dearest to us with this virtually gathered beloved community. Let us hold in our thoughts and our prayers all those joys and concerns that were spoken aloud this morning, as well as those that remain unspoken as we share together in a time of sacred silence. Blessed be, and amen. So I was hoping that we could also show a special
That was me.
video.
That's on me. Here we go.
That's okay. This past week, I celebrated a milestone. Actually, it's our milestone together. It was March 10th this past week, marked 3 years since my installation service here at FCU. And what a joyous day that was. And I was filled with hope, and my hope was well-founded. You members and friends of First Church Unitarian have taught me to love stewardship season. Really, it inspires me that you always have fun with your stewardship drives, even during a pandemic. It's really wonderful, of course, that this is true, but it does come with one small piece of bad news, namely, now that I know you better and know this about you, it's hard for me to know what to preach to you on these so-called Stewardship Sundays, because you've preached to me these past years about stewardship. You've preached to me with your actions, even more than your words. This is my 4th Stewardship Sunday with you, and I find myself almost at a loss for words. You know that I love etymology and to dig into the roots of words, their archaic origins. So often it will take me to Latin, and then I feel less regret that I chose to study Latin in high school rather than, say, Spanish. But I decided to look at the word origins of steward to see if I could at least offer you my linguistic insights. Alas, no Latin this time. It just goes back to Old English. It comes from 2 Old English words, stig, S-T-I-G, meaning house or hall, and weard, W-E-A-R-D, which is simply ward, meaning to guard or to protect. I think when people think about the word stewardship, they're often thinking about protecting or caring for a place, maybe a building, maybe an area of land, maybe even the whole planet Earth. And yes, when we talk about stewardship in the context of church, certainly a part of that is taking care of our beautiful building and our grounds, the physical plant. Part of it, stewardship, is taking care of the institution of the church, which is more than the physical plant. That's like stewardship of the congregation itself. For instance, this congregation dates back to 1714, and as much as it's good and responsible to take care of the building and the land the best we can, really the important part is to take care of each other and the congregation itself. Sometimes a congregation outlives its building and has to find or build a new one. That's challenging, but doable. On the other hand, sometimes a building outlives a congregation. There are lots of empty cathedrals and church buildings out there, or condoized ones. I know lots of congregations out there in mainline church land, not just FCU, not just Unitarian Universalists, but all kinds of mainline church folks and synagogue folks and so on, looking around at largely aging congregations and wondering if they will outlive the building or if the building will outlive the congregation. But I don't really think that that's the right way to think about things. That's a very fear-based way to approach things. The late, great Maya Angelou said, "Hope and fear cannot occupy the same space. Invite one to stay." Today, I ask us to invite hope to stay in our space. Today, I ask us to approach our stewardship season from a hope-based place. Hope is a future-oriented word. Unless you have a very cosmic grasp of time, you don't hope for the past, you hope for the future. And I have lots of hope for the future of First Church Unitarian. This pandemic has jump-started our project of thinking about a more future-oriented church. We have been pushed into figuring out how to live stream services and do just about anything and everything online that we need to do or just want to do. We know how to worship online and have meetings online and meditate together online and have events online, watch movies together online, play games, you name it. In our increasingly digital world, this has been an enormously important step to take. And we learn and try new things and we make mistakes and we learn from the mistakes And that's really as good as it gets. And it makes me so hopeful how we've come through the pandemic so far, and how hopeful it makes me that the congregation decided to put an investment into better live streaming equipment that will come later this church year. It makes me so hopeful. When I see how much you love this congregation and community and Unitarian Universalism, that gives me great hope. It's why I don't know what to say to you on Stewardship Sunday, but it gives me hope. Today, it strikes me that forming a community such as this, a community with love as its spirit and service as its law, and peace and seeking truth and helping one another as its covenant, such a community is an incredibly, inherently hopeful project. What an amazing thing that every Sunday, a nice-sized bunch of us come together to affirm this project in word and deed. You could be doing any number of things right now. Yesterday, early Saturday evening, you could have been doing any number of things as well, and yet so many of you were there then and now, or both. Think about that. All this loving time and effort, your gifts of time and talent to keep this incredible community going, that is the picture of hope for me. And I know that it came up in my breakout conversation at yesterday's stewardship event, and I bet others too, that we have hope that more folks can find what we have found here at First Church Unitarian. We want all kinds of folks from all walks of life to find their way to this abundance, and we want folks from younger generations to find what we have found here too. And they will make their own and find new traditions along the way, with keeping some of the old too, just as this congregation has been doing continuously since 1714. To be stewards of hope, we have to help people to find it, to find this wonderful place and community. We have to help people find their way here for their own sakes, because we are a loving, faith-filled people and hopeful people, and there's no act of love, faith, or hope greater than wanting others to have an abundant life in a beautiful community. This community is amazing, and I hope that others will find it and make it their own for years to come. This is a life-giving faith, and dare I say it, this is a saving space. Upping our digital game has been a great start, and it gives me hope that we will, in addition to continuing that project, find other ways to try new things and learn and make mistakes and learn from those too. You know, the younger generations fill me with hope. When I think about how much more they know about justice and equity than I did when I was at their age, how much firmer their grasp seems to be. When I think about how far ahead of they are in so many ways, how far ahead of the curve, it's exciting. It's exciting to think what the millennials and Generation Z will do with Unitarian Universalism when more of them find it and make it their own. In addition to the ones who have already found us, more. I want more. It fills me with hope. It's so exciting to think what we could be, what it could become. So in closing, on this morning, this Stewardship Sunday, I don't ask you to give until it hurts. I ask you to give, as they say, until it feels good. I ask you to give until you feel abundance. I ask you to give until you feel hope. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen.
We'll now enjoy a musical reflection recorded just a couple weeks ago by the church choir, especially for this.
Thank you, choir, for making that recording, and thank you, Molly. It's a great song. How very special that a former music director here wrote that. Okay, as is our tradition for online only worship, I invite you, if you're not already in gallery mode, to do that so you can see the folks whose cameras are on, and to put your hands out to the sides of your picture screen so you can sort of digitally, virtually be touching each other. Feel the energy between us, even virtually, for our closing words. This church does bless us. This congregation is a blessing and gives a blessing to all who find it. it is such a hopeful place. I am filled with wonder and awe at all that we have here, at what we have created together, and in what we can create in the days and years to come. Thank you for your generous giving spirits. Go in peace. Blessed be, and amen.
The postlude is taken from a service years ago. It's Edvard Grieg, Wedding at Trollhaugen, a very celebratory, exciting piano piece.
All right, I'm going to stop the YouTube live stream. So for those of you over on YouTube, thanks for joining us. And if you wish, join us